All right, y'all. Welcome to Against All Live Sports Radio Show. We live. I'm Javon Bates, the Legacy.
Bruce B. Smooth Ballard.
And we got
Nate Taylor, Lucky Weirdo Films.
Haley Johnson.
And Missy.
all right. So let's get straight to it, y'all. So this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the NBA All-Star 2025. And there was a lot of talk about how boring it was, how the games were not as engaging, the activities. Did you catch it?
I watched some of it. I mean, I watched some of the dunk contest.
Okay. We're going to get to that in a minute, too.
Okay.
But what was your thoughts about the dunk contest? Just a quick.
I mean, it was okay. I mean, what was the guy named? McCloughan?
Yeah,
McClung.
Yeah, he jumped over the car.
Yeah,
I swear I thought I'd seen that before, though.
Blake-
Somebody was acting like it was a big deal.
Blake Griffin did it.
Yeah. So people think it's a big deal, but I swear I've seen that same move before. But it was cool.
Yeah. So real quick, from a lady standpoint, the NBA's been struggling with their ratings compared to the NFL, so they can't really compete.
Right.
What are some of the things you think that NBA could do to catch our interest to watch games?
Wear tighter shorts. No, I'm just playing.
Well, they do that now.
I'm just playing. I don't really know.
I think play the. Is it halftime in basketball?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks,
Play the halftime dance performance. I would watch it then.
That's interesting because they never play that.
Yeah.
The announcers just talk during
I never noticed
halftime.
that. That's true.
And when
Yeah.
I went to a Cavs game, I was just people watching in the audience, and then watched the dancers, and that was like the only time that I really watched.
So basically,
You
you
didn't watch
saying
the game? You went to the game and you
Yeah.
watched? Now, I would
Yeah.
watch the game if I go.
Well, I was in nosebleeds, so
Oh,
So you're saying basically bring in better entertainers for people to enjoy besides the game to keep them engaged, basically.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I like that idea, actually. What you think, Bruce, man?
You got better entertainers than they had at this game, though. So I mean, they had Too Short, and they had.
Well, we just talking about overall.
Oh,
We just talking about overall NBA
so
games.
wrong. They tried. I think they just need to go back to the old format and just get the players to play harder. But
Shoot too many threes.
they're shooting too many
I know.
threes.
I did miss the celebrity game. I want to see that actually.
You did?
Yeah.
I thought they took that one away.
No, they played it.
Yeah, Shabuzi. I remember he played.
It's more. I think they should get rid of that.
Well, the
The
celebrity.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
because there's less celebrities. When you think about it, ain't no real celebrities. It's like, how can I put it?
But it used to be one.
C selected people.
Oh, okay.
No A. Yeah, there you go.
I like Shabuzi though. But only like because I like that one song. You know what I'm talking about? That drinking song he do. You know what I'm talking about? The one where he talking about the bar and he drinking. What? You know what I'm talking about?
My whiskey.
I think that.
Yeah.
Go
yeah.
away. Go again.
Oh, please, yeah, don't do that.
Tired of it. Tired
Oh, keep
of
going.
it.
Okay.
But let's keep it moving. So,
cut off.
That's the song, though, right?
so the Cavs actually wins the Kia Skill Challenge, and that's a big thing for Cleveland to get a win in something at the All-Star break. So I like that.
challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kia. The Cavs is killing this year.
Oh yeah.
More than the Browns.
That's good that we got our name out there and they starting to see us more. They know we got the best record in the league. So, I like it.
Honestly, I don't know why this isn't more of a basketball town than a football town. Because the Cavs be killing it.
Yeah.
Browns ain't that great.
Let me tell you why, now that you mentioned it. The Browns have always been great until they move.
Yeah.
No, dude, I'm being real.
Cavs have been
You go
horrible,
Google it
so-
now.
Yeah, Cavs are horrible.
The Browns been good since before they moved. And then when they moved and they came back, that's when it became trash can.
Ain't they about to move the stadium too, though?
Possibly.
They are.
Brooklyn. Yeah.
Mm.
Not Brooklyn, New York, but Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Brooklyn product.
Right. We got to think about that. The stadium being moved.
They want a dome.
Well, you
It's a dome, it's
can
gonna be
do
a dome.
more things with a dome.
Got you.
I think it should have been downtown though. But
Where is that?
Yeah, I think
Keep
we
it
got an advantage because we used to playing in the snow and the cold and stuff.
Yeah.
So
It's
when
probably
the others-
easier to get there too.
have you been in a cold game?
Nah, I've
Oh,
been to a game
God.
before, but not one of them
It-
freezing.
it-
Don't
it's
never
cold.
go one of them
It is
cold
cold.
games.
I'm cool on that.
Man,
I think they should have built it on the lakefront, but
just whatever. As long as I watch the Browns play, I'm cool with it. So, what are your overall thoughts about the NBA All-Star game, Bruce?
I thought it was horrible. But I thought it was more competitive than last year, but I thought it was horrible.
I think it was horrible because they changed the East to West thing, and they
Yeah,
divided into
yeah.
like 4 different teams.
And
or
you
whatever it was.
didn't really get to see him play.
Yeah, I don't like that. But I'm gonna tell you something interesting though. I did watch the girls play 1-on-1. They had a 1-on-1 tournament. I ain't talking about the NBA.
Oh,
They had a 1-on-1 tournament. I had more fun watching that for real
Mm.
than the NBA.
They play harder.
Yeah, they was playing 1-on-1 to who got the title. It was
Well, women don't make that much, yes.
So they got more to prove.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Cleveland's supposed to be getting the team soon.
Oh, they're gonna get back to rockers.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could jump on the team, you know what I'm saying? Get on that basketball.
So Tyler Hero won the 3-point contest. Let's move on for that. Who cares?
Oh,
We got a three-peat.
Garland was in it. He finished what, second or third? Garland.
What do you say? Almost doesn't count. So we have to move
What
on.
that was a Cleveland player.
It was, but we won first place.
All right.
We got a 3-peat dunk contest winner. We talked about it earlier. McClung, he wins
Yeah.
3 in a row.
Mm.
The dunk contest keeps getting weaker and weaker because the superstar players don't want to be in it. Like LeBron, I don't understand. He's scared to lose or something.
Mhm.
So, I don't know. But I think it would be better if they had the superstars in the dunk contest, in my opinion, instead of just picking this guy. He just dunking over cars
He don't even play.
and then take all the. I don't like none of the props. Take that away, man.
Yeah.
Jordan and them ain't use no props. They just dunk the ball and that's
I mean, like the car and all
Yeah,
that. The guy
take that-
spinning on
But
the.
Let's
that's
move
because
that
they
out the
couldn't
way.
think of anything
Yeah.
new, so they had to come up.
But take that out. 'Cause that make it even worse.
Right. I agree with that.
I mean, he had crazy hops, but
Yeah. So Shaq team wins 41-25, but who cares?
yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all.
So what do you think about Draymond coming out and just blasting him right before the game started?
Well, he's in his hometown, so he's gonna do what he want to do. The All-Star game is in his hometown, so at the end of the day, I guess he's just gonna do what he want to
But he was right. It sucked.
do. I'm surprised he still plays for Golden State. To me, he's the weakest player on their team, but who cares?
You know, he's going to Hall of Fame. You know?
I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
He played on one of the greatest teams.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Browns, and then we're gonna move on to the best part of the show. So the Browns have the number 2 pick in the NFL draft coming up in April. A lot of people say the Browns are going to move down. They're scared to get Deion Sanders' son, Shador. They're scared to get Cam. They're scared to get all these other players.
They don't want no more brothers.
So long story short, do we think the Browns are going to mess this draft up?
Yep.
I would say yes.
Yeah. Let's move on. We got Nate Taylor. That's what we came to talk about today. Nate Taylor. And introduce yourself again.
Hi, I'm Missy.
I'm Haley Johnson.
Okay. So let's talk about the movie. What's the name of the movie?
It's called Broken. It's a psychological thriller. Deals with mental illness, sexual abuse. Pretty much the synopsis of the movie is 2 detectives investigate a series of murders in Cleveland while women fight to survive and not become the killer's next victim. These are 2 of my main characters. She plays Nancy and Marsherie. Sorry, Haley plays Nancy and Marsherie plays Maxie, which is her employer.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So if you tuning in to YouTube, right now you see it on the screen, the actual cover of the movie.
Yep, new
Poster.
poster.
So yep. So you're gonna leave it up there for a hot second.
Hey, Black Marsherie.
All right, so let's talk movies. All right, y'all. So this is your first project, right?
It's my first feature.
First feature. Okay.
Yes. Mhm.
So you directed and produced other projects.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, cool. What was your first project?
That I've ever written was actually a short film called Into the Darkness.
Into the Darkness.
Yeah. Well, technically, I'll say it was a short film / music video called My Portrayal. So it's like a heavy metal music video /
Okay.
short film. It was like 8-9 minutes long. So
Not bad, not bad. So what made you want to write a full feature this time?
I mean, it's weird because actually it's supposed to be a short film. Started out with 9 pages and ended up being 20 pages. Started out with 4 or 5 actors and turned it to 20 actors and and a crew. So it just, I don't know, this guy had his way. I was just writing, and then the story kept expanding and expanding and kept being in the content of the story kept being added, and it kept growing, and it became what it is now. So
It's now like 87 pages.
It's 80
Oh,
something
I
pages
know.
now.
People always crazy about that. I know. I always say 90. They always be like, "Oh, it's
Yeah.
only 86
So
or 7 days."
that's almost like an hour and a half and some change, about an hour and a half
right.
of actual footage. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, that's cool. How long did it take you to write that?
So I got sick. Okay, so it would have took me only a month or less, but I got sick, so it took me about a little month and a half to write it. So yeah. So I started in December and I got done in about mid-January. So
So just in case people don't know, you are an actor also. So was it easy to transition from actor to screenplay writer to director?
well, I would say not really, because honestly, I've always been a writer. To be honest, I've started out doing poetry. I started doing spoken word. I used to write like 7 or 8 minute poems, and then perform before an audience. So I've always been a writer for years now, and it kind of translated into me actually becoming an actor. Did a little modeling, but that wasn't really my thing. I didn't think I'd be actually writing any screenplays or writing any movies. I came to Ohio a year and a half ago from New York, and I just I hooked up with this school called Ohio Media School, and then I started learning about more writing, more like videography, editing, and then it just translated into me, wanting to do my own stories, write my own screenplays, and it ended up being what it is now. So
That's cool. We did a collaboration with Concrete Traffic and Ohio Media School. We had Cass as one of the
Cass is one of my actors.
one of
She's
the
awesome.
interviewees. So yeah, she's great. She's great. So what about you guys? I mean, what about you
Well, as far as what?
as far as acting?
This is my, I want to say 3rd feature, maybe 4th. And I met Nate during a 48-hour film fest. And it was 4 of us when we had to write the film. Well, we didn't write it. Nate wrote it. And the rest of us, 3 of us was in the room, but it was like Nate was not there. He was just writing. He was toned out. His body was there, but he was not there. And he just wrote it like it was like nothing. And it turned out great. And as far as me, I'm just glad that he gave me the opportunity to work with him again on this. And so that was nice.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been acting pretty much my whole life, but predominantly on the stage. So I have a bachelor degree in theater.
Okay.
So that's predominantly where I have most of my acting experience. So I wanted to transition more into the film world.
Right.
So I have done a couple 48 hours, and that's actually also how I met Nate. So this film will be my first feature film, and my first lead in a feature film as well. So that's pretty exciting. I love the story. I know, so Nate called me like shortly after the 48-hour, like November or something, and was like, I have this project, here's the story, just the bones of it. And I was like, yeah, sure. And then like 2 months later, then it's like 90 pages, but it's amazing. So, I mean, he's written so many layers into the characters, and I'm still, trying to find some of the details of my character, Nancy, and just like the tiny things that make a character like really human so that she can relate to the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So just in case they just tuned in, what is the movie about again? One more time.
So it's a psychological thriller called Broken. It's pretty much about 2 detectives who are investigating a series of murders in Cleveland as these women try to survive to not become the killer's next victim. And it's obviously more than just these 2.
Right.
So it's Nancy, it's Maxie. Well, these 2 characters, Nancy and Maxie, is Trina, is Izzy. And then we have the 2 detectives, which are played by Basha and Ricky. And they play Detective Mina Kowalska and Detective Luis Daniels.
So let's talk about the actual pre-production phase. So are you still in pre-production or are you out of pre-production?
We're still in pre-production. We don't start filming until March 9th is our first date of filming. I'm trying to film just in the months of March and April, because technically the movie takes place during the winter months.
Okay.
So I'm not trying to film past April into May because it's
Right.
gonna start getting warmer. But you know, if it happens, it happens. But the way the shoot schedule is going, and our DP that we have, so I think everything should work out. So
Sounds good. So personally, like me filming, and I'm glad you said it's a winter movie, because I tend to stay away. If it's not a winter movie, I try not to film in the wintertime, period. Just because how people like to make excuses. I can't get out the house, it's cold outside,
Right.
my car won't start, that
Right.
kind of stuff. Have you ever experienced that in the pre-production stage of?
yeah, I have. But see, I'm very persistent. We'll come get you. When your car will start, okay, we'll come get you. We'll pick you up.
That's generous, man.
Yeah, I don't deal with excuses. If you say you're gonna be there, you're gonna be there. And if you're not gonna be there and we can't do anything to help you get there, then you're out. We're gonna find somebody else to replace you. So and luckily I have main characters like this who are not on that type of vibe. They're pretty much there when they need to be,
Serious.
rehearsing when they need to rehearse. Maybe some of the, I've dealt with that more with minor characters or even like extras or something like that, but never with the main characters. Main characters have always been about business.
So how do you feel about, this is for all three of you guys, how do you feel about the Cleveland film scene? Do you think it's more divided? Because for me, I think it's more divided, but I would like to see it come together, but what's your opinion?
When you say divided between what's like,
So for example, you didn't know who I was, and so I reached out to, we reached out, you know what I'm saying? We talked to each other and try to make something happen.
Mhm.
Versus, a lot of people don't do that kind of stuff. They just, kind of stay to themselves and I'm gonna just do this movie and then that's it. I don't want to talk to these guys over here.
Very cliquey.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick to these guys over here.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying because I know after I graduated from college and was back here in Cleveland, I know it was hard for me to even figure out how to break into the film world, just because like all the 48s, they just kind of cast their friends or
Yep.
people that they already know. So I know at least during like the 18, 19 years, it was definitely more like cliquey. I don't know if it still is because I'm now
It
part of
still
it. So, I mean, I think there are ways that we can break the barrier. So like the Greater Cleveland Film Commission has their media mixers several times a year where everybody can mix and mingle and meet new people and collaborate, which is the point of those media mixers.
yeah, I just feel like at some point you're going to run into somebody that's in the industry, because no, I didn't know who you was, but now I do. You know what I'm saying? So when I go to the mixers, and it's always mixers, and I go to the mixers, there's always somebody. I'm like, oh, I remember him, or I see him, or this or that. So it's just about like knowing people and having a good name, like he said. Like he don't have them certain issues with some people. I want to keep my name cool. So if
Right.
somebody do have a project or whatever, they can just be like, okay, I know somebody. That's how we met. See, he pulled me like, I want you to do this film I have. And that's just, I just think at some point you're going to cross paths. And people always hire their friends and stuff. And that's in any industry. So
True.
I don't know.
Well, personally, I like to hire my friends, but at the same time, I want to make sure they know, they have the knowledge to what I'm hiring them for.
Yeah,
Not
for
just
sure.
to put them on because they my
For sure.
friends, because people always think you owe them something, you really don't
They-
at the end of the day,
Right.
because they don't know what you've been through. They don't know you sat down and 4 hours writing that,
Right.
and they wasn't really there to help you do that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So they don't know where your struggle come from.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, I
Yeah.
think Nate is breaking the boundary just like with this, even just with this film Broken, and just like, we met at these different projects doing different films, and Nate like took us and was like, I want you in my film, even though I don't know you, but I just kind of saw your work and I want you. So breaking those boundaries of just hiring people whose work you've seen, and you just, you connect. on some
I'm gonna make her
level.
my PR manager.
So yeah, we have a nonprofit too called Real Opportunity Bridge Foundation, and basically what we are doing is we are bridging the gap. That's the key. So between the makeup artist, the producer, the director, the special effects, everybody coming together and we networking and doing projects together. Because this is different. Technically, this is different from music because it shouldn't be no competition because we out here displaying art.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So it shouldn't be no, oh, Nate's better than you or I'm better than Nate. It's
Right.
I should be helping you and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So
I agree.
it shouldn't be no like true competition because I want to see what kind of artistry you got.
Right.
And then if I can help you, I'll let you know. And there's nothing about hating or anything. I would give you, you know what I'm saying, my actual criticism if you want it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It wouldn't even be like, I wouldn't say, oh man, that sucked. No, man, everybody, I feel like this, my first movie, everybody's first movie is not gonna be their best movie. That's how you gotta look at it. Because we not Universal, we not whatever else out there. We not Sony Pictures. We all independent filmmakers. You know what I'm saying? Independent. We all are actors. We just trying to get our name out there, and we want to be our best. So,
Right.
and that's the way I look at it. So,
I think you've been a testament to that because I've reached out to you a few times and you've extended your hand and always helped me or answer my questions, which I appreciate that. So, and I can say that some people in Cleveland I've asked questions or tried to get answers from, me being new to the city, and they wouldn't answer my questions. They felt like, they kind of put me or they stayed in their little box, and wouldn't let me in. So,
I kind of know how to feel. That's the reason I extend my hand because, like, when I made my first film, nobody helped me do it. No, I had nobody to turn to, so I had to learn off experience.
Right.
So I had to find out what, like, everything that was failing. I was like, oh man, I can't do that for the next film.
Right.
So it was like it was just like it still turned out good, but could have been better if I knew the things I knew right now.
Right. I think what it comes down to is just like will this person rock with you or not? That's my vibe. Is like, okay, if I reach out to you and say, hey, I want you in my movie, or could you be part of my crew, or this is what I got going on? If you want to turn your nose, then okay, you ain't the one that God had for me. But I'm gonna keep reaching out though, because I'm gonna find somebody. I reached out to Haley. Haley could have been like, I don't know you, I'm not being part of your film.
Right.
Maxie, I'm sorry, Marsha Reed, same thing. She could have been like, I don't know you, I'm not being part of your film. So the people I've reached out to that have been like, oh well, I got something going on, I can't be part of your project. Okay, but the people I have reached out to that have been part of our project, I appreciate them, and I feel like they were meant to be in the project, and they're gonna make the project great.
So what do you think is needed to help, I guess, actors, directors, and filmmakers? What do you think? What else is needed to help to make it better, to bridge those gaps, and to make people better? What else you think is needed?
I mean, I think it takes for everybody to be on the same page, which is kind of impossible. I mean, everybody's going to have to, I feel like everyone has to be able to open up and allow themselves to be vulnerable and to, say, okay, I will help you, or I need help,
Right.
And unfortunately, people are not, not like that.
Right.
Like you said, they kind of stay cliquey, they stay in their own box. They don't want to mess with someone. Now, mind you, this other actor or this other crew person or whatever could be very talented, but they're not part of the clique. I don't know what you're really capable of, but I know what my crew is capable of, and I'm just gonna stick with them. And I feel like by doing that, you're missing out on great opportunities.
There you go.
And we shouldn't be like that.
Definitely, because like you said, you could be missing out on. I'm gonna tell you the best example. Netflix walked into Blockbuster's offices and told them the same thing they was about to do, and Blockbuster told them they were stupid. And look what Netflix is now.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what.
Versus, all right, well, let's try a little, maybe a couple titles and see how it go. Like, at least give it a chance and see what it do. Because y'all are multi-millionaires. Netflix was just trying to etch its way in there.
Mm-hmm.
So now when I look at that kind of stuff, I just try to see, I don't never underestimate nobody. Because like you said, you don't know what they're capable of.
Right. That could be a blessing. You never know, So
Exactly. So, what was one of the biggest obstacles in your career as a actor or director?
Oh, I've had a lot of them. I mean, just working with other people. Sometimes some people are not professional, and that's me as an actor working with directors. Directors not professional. you know, one thing I've learned as just being an actor that I'm trying to extend to my actors is to make sure my actors is comfortable. And me working on, you know, professional sets as well as independent sets, you just see the difference. You know, I've been on sets where they don't give you like the basic stuff like water, you know, like I'm
Right.
talking all day, I'm acting all day. I can't even, you know, I gotta find out where I'm gonna get some water at. Or, you know, making sure, you know, I have, you know, making sure actors have lunch, you know, making sure
Right.
they're taken care of. They might be on set for 8 hours. What are they gonna go call pizza, you know, go get a pizza or leave
Right.
the set? So just making sure actors have the basic necessities so that they taken care of, because you just want them to do their job, which is act.
Right.
So you know, I've dealt with that. I've dealt with just people in general, you know, like people I've worked with. And I don't know, this is probably a weird thing to say, but I'm gonna say it anyways. For some reason, and I'm trying to break out of this, but for some reason, I get along with females in the industry more I do with males. And I don't know why.
I'll tell you why. Because the female don't have the ego.
I think that, yeah, that's what it is.
A lot of males, like you walk into a room, you should never feel like you know what I'm saying, little. When you walk into the room, you should just feel your same self as you walk through there. You should
Right.
feel the same way as you walking in.
Right.
And nobody's dominant. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had their own thing.
Right.
Be like the Avengers. You don't see, you know what I'm saying, Iron Man coming in the room and there go the Hulk. I'm gonna just feel low. No, he walking in there like I'm an Avenger too. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
agree.
I just feel like it's the ego thing. If you get past your ego, I think anything's possible for real.
Right.
You can work with anybody.
Yeah, that's what I want. I mean, I don't have an ego. I want to work with everybody. I want, you know, but it's a reason. I feel like it's it's the way I wrote the script too, but it's kind of a reason why most of my cast are female. I feel like, you know, because
Right.
I've tried to work with other guys, and some guys I work with, they worked out great. But then some I work with, it just seemed like it's always like an issue or something, or they're not showing up, or you know, the editor, you know, just drops out and I don't hear from them no more. You know, it's just like weird stuff. But when it comes to, like I said, when I work with female, I just feel like they're just reliable. When they say they're gonna do something, they're gonna do it. You know, it seems like the people I've come in contact, at least, just about
Right.
their business. You know, so and I appreciate that.
But that's the key.
So how do you screen your actors then?
And this is nothing too, and I will, you know, talk about that. Is I've made mistakes because I've given people chances that I feel like they didn't deserve chances because they wasn't really part of the industry. You know, like say if I see you, say if I'm looking for someone to be part of my film, not like a major character, but just be in a film in general, maybe a small role, and maybe you're just starting to get into acting. Well, you know, you're not disciplined yet. You know, your mindset is not about the art, about the craft yet. I give you a chance, and you do me dirty. You know, so I've learned don't do that no more. I'm not giving. I want people who they ain't gotta be. I ain't saying they gotta be like Netflix professional, but I mean, you're really about the art. You're really about the craft. You really are trying to, you know, do this work. And it's not like, oh, this is a hobby to me right now.
You know about the conversation now. Like after a while, like you talk to somebody, you 9 times out of 10, if they talking about like they're not inspired off they self, like they're not inspired about it.
Right.
Oh, I'm doing it because my friend doing it. That's not the right person.
Right.
But a lot of people don't understand it is really work.
Yeah.
They look at it
Right.
and think like we just on the screen, like it's work to go into it. It's rehearsal, it's
Sacrifice.
preparation, it's sacrifice.
Yeah.
So
That's the whole
they
thing.
don't know that part. They just feel like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be in it. I'll be in your movie, but they don't know like you gotta know these lines,
Mm-hmm.
and to know these lines, you gotta read and prepare and you know
Right.
a whole bunch of stuff. So,
Because then when they have to actually do the lines, it's like, or they have to actually put the work in. They see it's time consuming. They're like, oh, I ain't with this. You know,
right.
I'm about to. I'm good. You know. So
Yeah, they flake out, like you said.
Right.
Flame out.
right.
So I know you was talking earlier, you said you know, you've been in sets where they didn't have food or they didn't have water. And not being to their defense, but some people don't know.
Mhm.
Like
Right.
they just picking up a camera and trying to make a movie because they see you doing it, or they see me doing it, or they see
Right.
somebody else doing it.
Mhm.
So what I tell people is, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
Right.
And to me, the best analogy of actually making a film, I look at it as a football team. You got your head coach, you got your defensive coordinator, you got your offensive coordinator, you got your special teams, you got your quarterback coach, you got all these other coaches, then you got the players, then you got your other guys that's helping out the players. So you got all these different moving parts, and you trying to manage all that because you got different personalities too.
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to manage the whole thing. That's what it is. That's actually what a director or independent filmmaker is for real.
And it makes it easier if everybody know their position.
That's the key.
Mhm.
That's why we put them in there.
Yes, but people don't know.
They step their boundaries.
I mean, I would like for those people, I would say who just want to make a film to make a film, like go and be a background person, an extra person
Mhm.
on like a Netflix film. Because Cleveland, I mean, this year we just doubled our funding for films in Cleveland, so we're gonna have a lot more this year. Just if anybody wants to be background, just look out for those emails. Just to get on a professional set to see what it's like, to see how it is and how it's managed. Some aren't managed as well as others, I will
Right.
say, like the lack of water, even on like a huge, like multi-million-dollar budget, that comes down to just people not really doing their jobs.
Right.
Right.
But yeah, just having that experience. I mean, I've done background work like 7 times or something, and like it's fun every time. You know, you get to see the famous people and you get to just like see the positions and what everybody's role is in the film, because a film, similar to theater, like it's not just the actors that you see, it's like everybody
Yeah.
that puts it together, like, you know, that makes it so beautiful and that moves people.
And just being on set, it's just, I'm here.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
You made
it's a
it.
good thing.
Right.
I feel like too, for me at least, what I was kind of saying before is like, I feel like people's lack of professionalism has made me more professional. You know, it's made me listen to my actors, made me, you know, make sure they're taken care of. You know, Haley, for example, you know, had mentioned how she was kind of, some of the scenes that she has to do in the movie, she's kind of uncomfortable with. So she was like, well, could you get like a, you know, stunt coordinator or someone that can kind of show me how to, you know, do these certain things? And I went and did it. You know, I had to pay more money, but I did
Right.
it because I want to make sure she was, and everybody
Compromising.
was taken care of. And she thanked me for that, you know, but that's me because I've come from an area where the director wouldn't do that.
Right.
You know, he'd be like, oh, you're good, you're fine, you can handle it. You know, so.
So yeah, that's what I think is too the advantage of a director and an actor. They're kind of the same, but like you said, when you directing and you an actor, you kind of know like both sides of the coin. Because that's how I look at it. So I was like, okay, what is fair for an actor? Because then I look at it as a director, like, okay, you have to be transparent.
Right.
You got to be clear when you deliver messages. You can't think somebody knows what you're talking about. So you have to be very transparent and give out those particular instructions so they can follow them.
Yeah.
Because some people think, you know, you say something, they're going to grasp it. And it's not like that all the time.
Mhm.
So you want to be definitely super transparent about your delivery on what you want from the actor. You have to tell them, like, oh, you know what I meant. No, they don't know what you mean because you got to tell them what you mean. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. Yeah.
So what is the difference between coming from the stage to film?
Yeah. There was a big kind of, I went to the Indie Gathering back in like 2018. And so I
That's
don't
what
know.
Ray said.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who runs it. I was
Okay.
just like a little out of college, like, let me go do some things. But so they have like, you know, people who have, you know, they have more solidified backgrounds, credits, and it's kind of like you have talks and stuff. So there were actors who were speaking about their experience, and I was asking so many questions because I was just like this little ball of energy trying to absorb.
Mhm.
And I asked, you know, like, how do I translate it felt at that point in my life, it felt like acting in front of a camera was fake for me, as opposed to acting on stage, which felt very real in real time for me. And this actor said, well, you have to think of the lens as your audience. So like over the years, I've learned to like change my mindset in that. So now I feel
Right.
more comfortable in front of a lens. And also I think just like in front of an iPhone, which is where we're doing self-tapes, it just feels
Right.
a little fake because it's, you know, it's different. It's not like an actual lens. So it's just your phone. So it feels more, I don't know, maybe not as professional. So it's like, I don't need to snap it on if it's in front of a
Right.
phone. Whereas like if it's a camera, you have the whole set and the crew, then it's like, okay, I'm focused in. So I think that's the biggest difference. I know a lot of actors will say, or people will say, like, you have to be a lot smaller in film. Some of the actors who are on Broadway that I've watched have said like, oh, I can't think that way because then you diminish your actual performance. So I know that there are some things that I'm still learning that I'm sure you'll tell me that like that hand movement is too big, Haley, like tone it down a little bit. Or like you're off camera, like, you know, tone it down. But I think it's just film acting is more it's more calculated. So I have to be more calculated with movements.
Right.
You know, when I blink, when I move my hands, whereas the stage, it's like you're using your whole body to communicate an emotion. And in film, it's just very small.
And I find a difference in stage because I've done quite a few stage plays as well. It's the preparation as well.
Oh yeah.
Stage, you are, you know, preparing, you're rehearsing every day almost.
No room for error.
No room for error because you're right there. But it's the from the script to the stage. It's just like it's different because you are developing that character together and that story together with the whole cast. As in with the script, you need to learn your lines and then you bring it and you get directed for the most part.
And I'm learning
So-
that part now with this film of
Yeah, but you
that
gotta
preparation
work together
before
as much as possible.
filming. So like I know we're not filming things exactly chronologically, but with our film schedule, it does help that it is kind of chronological instead of doing like last day filming first.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's kind of, it's making it to be an easier transition for me.
Right. And I've been blessed because like, so Haley's character plays Nancy. I mean, she deals with a lot of childhood trauma and like she kills it, man. I mean, she brings that emotion, everything. I mean, just it's phenomenal. Maxie's character, or Marshall's character that plays Maxie. I had to have to call them their character name, but
I do that a lot too. I do that a lot too.
and Maxie's like the big sister, kind of, you know, she's like, you know, the one everyone goes to for advice. You know, she kind of like, you know, is the glue that holds everything together. And she kills that role, you know. And it's just like the characters I have playing the detectives, Basha and Ricky. You know, I swear in another life they probably were detectives because they play that part really good, you know. So it's got some really good actors. You know, Cass. You know, and we're getting there. We're getting there where she need to be at, but I can already tell that she's gonna kill it. You know, for the character she has as Trina, and then we have another character played by Stephanie. She plays Izzy, and she kills that character too. So I just got some really good characters, and it just goes back to how I reach out to people. I found Izzy like on the Hispanic filmmakers like site. You know what I mean? Like who thinks to even go there probably, but I went on there and I found Izzy on there, so or Stephanie on there to play Izzy. So it just, you know, I just reach out everywhere, you know. If you're down, you're down. So
The word preparation goes across the whole board, and that's definitely the number one word from your crew to the screenplay writing to the pre-production to learning your lines to doing the acting. So the preparation is the number one thing that's going to get everything together. Because if you're not prepared, you're going to fail.
right.
You're going to see it. People get frustrated. They go, I got to be here another hour. You would get that kind of stuff. So yeah, so like I said, I learned over the years how to be a better director because I could feel it from me like doing acting too. Like, okay, I can see why they're frustrated. Let me cut down these hours. Let me cut down this right here. Oh, let me change this right here. And then I see that they're better. Let me start filming on this day because they're not responding on these days. Let's film on these days because they more energetic these days. So I just pay attention to detail and I just try to like, you know, see little inconsistencies and consistencies and try to, you know, rule them all out.
Right. And I feel like being transparent too is really important because they'll tell you, I be blowing up the chat. I be calling them, I be texting them, I be letting them know everything that's on my mind. You know what we got to do. Are you cool with this? You know, like, you know, so they know, you understand what they expect of me, and they're not sitting there thinking like, well, what does the director need me for this day, or what is he thinking about this thing? So I tell them all the information, I get all their feedback. So you know, we're on the same page 9 times out of 10. So that's a good thing. So
yeah, that's good. That's good. So I know me and you was talking before about the SAG thing. Did you get that? Did you ask that question yet?
yeah, I got that taken care of.
Okay, cool, cool.
Yeah.
So it is or no?
We can talk about it
Okay. I found out something about it too. That's the reason I asked. I actually talked to somebody that was actually, you know, in it. So they told me the answer. I was like, okay, cool.
Okay.
So the two of you in SAG? Not yet.
That's a
Yeah,
different
I'm
ball
not-
game.
I'm not rushing yet. I'm not rushing yet.
Yeah, because
Not
like
yet.
you become SAG,
Yes.
you kind of eliminating other
Yeah.
things that you
Yeah.
could do too.
Right.
I think with background work you can get the credits, but like I don't know why I
But you want to
would.
put those on your resume.
Right. Yeah.
Only thing it is protect is your union, so it's protecting your rights, and you're getting paid for anything you do.
And you can get health insurance.
Yes,
Mhm.
so you get more benefits and other things too, and protection as well, like on sets. Because if you do a non-union, they don't have the same rules.
Mhm.
And let's be realistically, okay, they're doing an intimate scene. So if you're in a non-union, they probably butt naked for real.
Mm-hmm.
No.
But they're not supposed to be.
No.
I'm just saying, like
No.
when you filming it, you're supposed to be filming a certain way, and certain people are supposed to be there while they filming.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So they're protected. So when you're in the union, you're mainly protected all the way.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
I
think
guess
that's the goal.
that's as an actor too, or what you're willing to do.
Right.
That's
But
like,
like we said before, most people don't know.
yeah.
They just in the games. They got a director telling them you got to do this. So they listen to him. They see you making money. Okay, I guess he know what he's talking about. And then they go out there and do it. And then, like you said, at the end of the day, they should have never did that.
Right.
Because all they got was an IMDb credit.
Yeah.
I can't really talk. I did a couple of love scenes, but I do agree with you though. I mean, some people just not knowing what they're getting into, and they do a scene like that, and they feel kind of uncomfortable about it. Sorry, comfortable. I can't talk. Uncomfortable about it later on. Like Marjorie already is like, I'm never doing no scene like that, like ever.
Well, I mean.
Oh, excuse me then. My bad.
Never say
Don't.
Never say that.
Well, everybody that does those scenes,
I
they say it's the
like
most
about
uncomfortable
it.
thing, period.
Yeah.
But it's just about lock it in and hurry it, just getting it done and out the way. Because a lot of people say they don't like to practice it. They just want to go ahead
Just get it
and do
done
it
and
and then
done.
get out of there.
Right.
Yeah, I had to take my pants off in the scene before, and it was just me and the camera person.
Mhm.
There, he was like, "I'm just gonna, it's just gonna be y'all two in there." So it
Yeah, a closed set.
was, yeah.
What's the name of this movie?
DNA.
Oh, okay. All right.
DNA. Yeah, so it was cool. It was uncomfortable, but because I'm not that.
So let me ask you this question as a female
Mhm.
actress. Do you feel comfortable about somebody asking you to do those type of things?
At this point, I was just like, I'm getting comfortable with people asking, but it depends on the delivery type of thing and what it is. So I'm not gonna say yay or nay because it's just. I mean, people don't ask me to get naked on the screen, so I'm not comfortable doing it. Like so.
So it's just underwear or something?
I mean, I don't really want to do that, but if the scene calls for it, and the script is right, and it ain't just because you want,
Right.
You're just there for that, and then you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
I get
just
that.
because it's like sometimes it's like
It feels a little disrespectful, kind of.
yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
it was like it was.
You probably can film like a love scene without actually showing.
No, this
Like-
one.
It's all about angle stuff.
This one script I got, they offered me the part, but they sent this like something I had to say and doing stuff. I said, yeah, I'm not doing that. So the guy that was like co-producing it or co-writing it, he said, okay, we can change it. But the female was like, no, we're not changing it.
Mm.
So I changed roles. They gave me a different role and they used somebody else, and they didn't even use that scene.
Mm.
So it was just like,
But in the union, if you was in a union, you could actually tell them to get you a double.
oh,
Mm.
So you
Mhm.
and then I think you got like
Okay.
48 hours to say, even if you agree to do it, you can say, I don't want to do it. And
Okay.
you can say, all right, well, just give me a double.
Body double.
Yeah, because a lot of them do that now in Hollywood. They have a body double. You like, oh, I thought I was what's the name the whole time. They're like, no, that wasn't me.
Or just CGI on
Yeah.
certain
What,
parts.
Yeah.
what do they want you to say? They want you to say like some Halle Berry Monster Ball stuff? Like, maybe you can feel good.
Yeah, it was worse than that. It was like uncalled for because it was just like it was too raunchy. It was like, no, I'm not saying that.
Right, right.
Nah. This
What's
is
the best of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was
So-
bad.
So what was one of your worst moments on the set that you can remember?
I've just been on set so much. I just have
Oh
so
my
much
God, such a
to
diva.
pull from.
What is one of the worst?
Well, Well, there were a couple projects early on in like 2018 and 2019 when I was just kind of coming into Cleveland again and into the independent film world. I was cast in two different things. Like one guy was like, "I'm gonna make you a star," and I was like, "Okay, sure." That project really fell through. It's one of the things that I'm embarrassed about that I just don't associate with ever. I'm sure we all have one of those.
Did it ever release or just never came to fruition?
Kind of, but it's being submitted to
Oh.
like schools, and I just,
Mm,
I don't know.
okay.
I don't know. I saw it and was like, yikes. It wasn't even a finished project, so
Mm.
Oh,
that was bad. But I think the worst one was when I was cast. Like, I went through an audition process. I was
Mhm.
cast in it might have been a feature film. I'm not quite sure. But it was a larger scale film. I signed a contract and then like reached out to the filmmaker who wrote it and was producing it to ask when we were going to be shooting. They told me the date was pushed back because they were still working on another project. And then I think I might have reached back out again, didn't hear anything. And then a few months later on this person's Facebook, I see that my role was recast without my knowledge
Mm.
oh,
after a whole like audition
Mm.
process and me like reaching out to them, asking them when are we starting.
wow.
So I think that was just like the worst level of professionalism, lack of professionalism I've ever really seen in
Right.
an adult.
That was in Cleveland?
So in Cleveland.
I believe
Yeah.
it.
I won't give any names
I believe
because I don't even remember their names. I blocked it out. But
Yeah, I believe it.
yeah, so probably those two.
All right, so before we end the show, is there anything else that y'all would like to say? Y'all got any events coming up or any future projects coming up?
I mean, for me right now, I'm just focused on getting Broken out. You know, our goal is to, get it all filmed and everything. You know, we're going to, of course, show it in the local theaters, get a couple showings out of it, many as possible, 2 or 3. And I want to get it on the streaming platforms. And we've talked about that,
Right,
you
right.
know. So that's my goal. And I want to like promote the movie as much as possible, not just on social media, but I want to do radio. I want to get shirts made. I want to just push it as much as possible. If it comes out, the way I believe it's going to come out,
Mhm.
I definitely want to push it to the max. I've already started writing another script. So, after this project, I'll wait a couple of months. I'll start filming my new project. So keep it going from there. So my mind just constantly goes. So I'm just a writer. So
Sound like me.
that's my talent. So yeah.
Okay. So I plan on being on his new project. And I'm always looking for acting work. I just enjoy it. Like I'm content. Like the rest of the world is gone. When I'm on set, when I'm rehearsing, when I'm in class, like any of that involves the acting world, I just love it.
That's cool.
So, I mean, after this project is done in like April, that's when audition season for theater is. So I might audition for some things then, just to go back to it.
She'll be my next project. That's what she wanted to say. That was the
So that's what she
interpretation I
wanted to
got.
say.
But yeah, that's the interpretation I got. But
So don't forget, y'all, always believe in yourself. Never take, no for an answer. Just go out there and, do the best you can do and, get better. You can train better. If you can do something better, work on that, work on your weaknesses and trust in God and do your part because he already did his part at the end of the day. So that's why I look at it. Don't fear anything. Go out there and just deliver, do what you always wanted to do. Because trust me, only person stopping it is yourself at the end of the day. So believe in yourself and you'll see doors open for you constantly. Because God already, like I said, he already paved it for you. You just got to go out there and do your part.
I believe that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I received that word.
Yes, me too.
So real quick, talk about the project at hand.
So we got Uncle Freddie as neighborhood. So this is our kids book dealing with social emotional learning. So you go to our website, check this out, and got multi stories here. We got female stories, and some male stories. We got autism, self-esteem, self-confidence, and dealing with bullying also.
Mm.
And
So the main character is Uncle Freddie.
Uncle
It's
Freddie,
it's
yeah.
based off an actual comedian. His name is D-Hawk. So I don't know if y'all familiar with him. So check him
Yeah.
out.
yeah, he's got
Yeah.
videos on
Yeah, yep, D-Hawk. So
Is he local or?
Facebook.
Oh, yeah, he's
on
funny.
Facebook,
Yeah.
YouTube. Yeah, he's very funny.
yeah, so we collaborated with him on the comedy scene because we got an entertainment company as well. So we do more than just movies. We do like comedy shows, events, and different things like that.
Okay.
So also check out the book Common Creed Trafficking, which is in theaters, and we about to do the Brooklyn, New York, March 15th, down in Brooklyn as well. So go to jblegacyfilms.com if you want to get your tickets in Brooklyn. We appreciate it. And then also we got the first book, the first movie, Common Creed, The Epidemic, the one that started it all. My first actual movie that I learned everything as far as failing, but it went great. So you get these books, actually, like I said, jblegacyfilms.com. If you can't find it there, which you should, just go to Barnes and Noble. It's there as well. But we'll rather for you to buy
We'll
from
make
us.
more if you buy from us. That's right.
No, you're gonna pay more if you buy from them.
Yeah.
Because the book is like $50 on there. It's only $25 if you buy directly from
Buy
us.
from them.
So yeah. So hopefully we see y'all next Monday. We will have probably another guest most likely. And I hope everybody learned something about the film industry and some woes and good things as well. So last words before we leave.
I'm just, it was good to meet you guys,
Same.
and we'll be following your page and your entertainment company, and hopefully we can do some work as well.
Oh, appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, no problem.
Thank you for coming.
Mhm. I would say, don't follow people, follow your dreams.
Ah.
Yeah.
One last thing. The last song, part 2, the sequel. There is a casting call this Sunday, so just go to jblegacyfilms.com to get that information. We already closed out the casting call for Dying to Live, which is the movie that I wrote, and it'll be filmed later on this year sometime. But we jumping on the last song, the sequel. I think it's called the last song, Money Problems. It's written and directed by Anthony D. Phillips Sr. So check that out, Javon, jblegacyfilms.com. We appreciate y'all for coming. We love y'all. Have a good evening. Y'all be safe.